welcome to the show. The franchise is the name of it. I'm Daniel Ehrenberg, and over there's Logan, and we bid a toast to talented people. They're dropping like flies this week. A lot of talent going into the ground. Goodbye to Paul Sorvino. Goodbye to Bob Rafelson, the great filmmaker behind Five Easy Pieces and Black Widow and King of Marvin Gardens and Blood and Wine. And then we also say goodbye to a third person. Who else died yesterday?
I was surprised when you said multiple people died.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You don't remember who died?
I didn't remember the first guy.
Paul Sorvino from season 2 of Law and Order. Who can forget?
Dun dun.
I mean, also like Goodfellas.
Yeah, most notably.
Yeah. David Warner. That was the third name I wanted to bring up. He died.
I'm sure his brother was sad.
No, stop it. You know David Warner, Logan. You're a huge fan of David Warner. I guarantee you, I'm going to describe something to you right now. I'm going to tell you one of his roles, and your response will be sadness that he's dead.
Go.
David Warner played Sydney's drama teacher in Scream 2.
Yeah, that is upsetting.
Yeah.
I feel like I saw him in something else, actually, too.
Of course you have. What a talented, prolific actor he was.
Yeah, R.I.P. that guy.
Dead at 80-something.
That's pretty good.
I just watched him in your run, Logan.
I saw that you had seen that. You didn't like it.
I didn't really like it. No, Logan's Run. I watched it this past week. And, I always thought it might be good because it won Best Science Fiction Film at the Saturn Awards that
But what
year.
was out that year? Or around that time? That was...
I don't know. It was like around Star Wars times, wasn't it? Maybe right before that.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway.
Who's in it? Who's like the lead guy?
Him and probably someone else.
Who's him?
David Warner.
Oh, he's the lead of that movie.
He plays the titular Logan. Oh, wait, no, he doesn't. Michael York
Logan?
does. No, I fucked that up. Michael York is in that movie. Michael York looks a little bit like David Warner, gang.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, okay. Let's get into it. This week, we are still talking about Logan's choice, the Cloverfield films, okay? So we'll be stopping at 10 Cloverfield Lane this week and then investigating the Cloverfield Paradox.
Yeah.
I decided to introduce it sort of like an Entertainment Weekly article. You know what I noticed? I've started to really enjoy headlines about the box office.
How often do you see that?
Every Monday, I look to see what was the box office this past weekend. And the headline is always something the writer thought up in 2 seconds just based on whatever genre the movie is. So this week, Nope was number 1 at the box office, right? And all the headlines, I saw it in 3 different places. 3 different people independently came up with the headline, Nope scares up a solid $44 million.
How is that even clever?
Because it's a scary movie, Logan, you see? So they scared it up.
What?
Yeah. So if it was a superhero movie, they might say Superman rescues a cool 100 million from the people.
I like that more.
Well, I came up with it.
I should hire you.
I think so too. So that's what I'm really into. I'll try and keep you posted, all right? What's coming out this week?
I don't know. I was only keeping my eye on Nope, really.
For Jurassic Park, I wonder if it was people's wallets went extinct this weekend when Jurassic Park scared up.
They just reused it.
I think it's always scared up.
Buzz Lightyear scares up the whole galaxy.
No, I bet you it would be Buzz Lightyear launches to $70 million or something.
Yeah, they'd be lucky to make that
launches.
money.
Yeah, I know. No, it kind of tanked actually, Lightyear. That Chris Pine. I think Pine is movie death.
It's not Pine. It's Chris Evans.
What?
Isn't it Chris Evans?
It's not Pine. Evans is Lightyear?
I thought.
Well, he's not movie death. I shouldn't talk shit. I just saw him in that Gray Man. He plays the
Well, you
villain in
hated
that.
that too, though.
Yeah, but a lot of people are watching it.
I mean, it's on Netflix.
Yeah, we'll talk about another Netflix feature film this week.
Yeah, you're right. One of the very first. It's not true.
No.
Yeah, Chris Evans was Buzz Lightyear. Chris
I don't
Pine.
remember. I can't get these people, you know. What's Pine? What's he even doing?
Wonder Woman.
That's what he's doing?
I don't know.
I feel like I saw a trailer in front of Nope for a Chris Pine movie that looked good.
It kind of rings a bell, actually.
Does
You know,
it?
I saw Chris Pine in Hell or High Water, and I was like, this is the guy. This is my favorite Chris. He's my favorite. I'm getting behind this guy. But then he didn't really do much after that.
I know.
Didn't he do
I
A Wrinkle
couldn't-
in Time?
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Pine's fucking up. I looked it up, bro. He's in that new Olivia Wilde movie that looks pretty good.
Oh, that's where I saw that trailer.
I'm into it, dude. It looks like Lady Truman Show.
If you told me it was a Jordan Peele movie, I'd kind of believe
True
you.
Woman Show.
That's pretty good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Maybe they should change the title. Not too late.
It's never too late.
I'm hearing rumors, Logan, that Pew and Olivia Wilde secretly hate each other.
Really?
How about that? Here's the because I follow.
Is there some Harry Styles drama on the set?
No. I follow Du Moi. Are you familiar with Du Moi?
No.
Du Moi. It's like an Instagram account, and there's a subreddit and a podcast. Okay, and it's basically just like the modern delisted or like TMZ. They give you the scoop on these celebs, all right, and they dig deep, baby. And the thing they're saying about Pew right now is Pew has a tendency when a trailer gets released for one of her movies. She posts that shit on Instagram the second it comes out, Logan. The second.
Yeah.
As of a few days after that Don't Worry Darling trailer came out, still no post.
Whoa.
Still no post. And somebody pointed to an interview she had delivered about the film, and someone was saying how good it looks. She very specifically didn't say a single word about Olivia Wilde and only complimented the cinematographer.
Well, that doesn't make me feel good about the movie, actually.
I think the movie could still be good, but I'm interested.
But if she was excited about it, then she would not be doing this, right?
Well, but I it's not to say that the movie's bad.
I guess she wouldn't know either way, maybe.
Yeah, I think she just maybe had a bad experience making it. All right. And this is like a total 180 from this Olivia Wilde's last time out, because like I feel like they were promoting Booksmart, like the three of them had been best friends since birth.
Yeah, well, she's still being nice with Hollywood back then, trying to get her movie made. Now it's made. She's got her blank check. She can be mean.
She's doing all right, though.
Is she?
I think so. I think I just read she's like dating someone weird. Is that right?
Harry Styles, right?
She's dating Harry Styles?
Didn't they start dating when they were making that movie? Am I wrong about that? I thought that was the whole thing.
Oh my God, you're right. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
She left Sudeikis.
Yeah, that's why I didn't know if she was doing okay. I thought
For
something weird was
Harry's-
going on.
God, people gave Sudeikis a lot of shit. Remember he had like divorce papers like delivered to her on stage or something?
Mm-hmm.
Which is a fucked up thing to do. But like
Kind of baller though.
if you're like a grown man and your lady just straight up leaves you for a member of One Direction.
But he is the best one.
I know he's the best one. Listen, like if my lady left me for Harry Styles, I'd be like, I get it. But also, I might do something fucked up like that.
Yeah.
It's a pretty toxic move, but I'm going to support it.
Oh, the Sudeikis thing?
Yeah.
Me too. I'm on his
Okay.
side. But I also hope,
I'm on neither side because I don't know the situation. But
do they have a kid?
what I do know is that she is now with Harry Styles. And so I understand how he's feeling. Do they have a kid? I don't think so.
I thought some couple had a kid in the last year. Thought it might have been though.
I would say that's probably accurate. That's accurate. I was gonna say
They did have a kid?
No, just like some couple had a kid
okay,
last
okay.
year.
Right.
Yeah. You want to talk about these Cloverfield movies?
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So 10 Cloverfield Lane is the first one we're going to talk about. And that came out 8 years after, a good 8 years
yeah, a long time.
after the original. They waited a long time. And like I said last week, they were trying to get a movie off the ground. It's not for lack of trying. The three of them could not get on the same page: Reeves, Goddard, Abrams. Meanwhile, Abrams has a deal with Paramount. All right. Star Trek was hugely successful for them. And so they sign him to a movie contract where he's got like a first look deal sort of a thing. And they show him a script called The Cellar. Okay. And they're like, maybe you'd like to produce this for $5 million for us. This is going to be a cheap movie. JJ, take it home for us. All right.
Yeah,
All right. When I say all right, generally like someone's like, yeah.
I'm just gonna edit this part out, but yeah.
Oh, don't edit anything. I hate you. Okay. Um Now, the writers of The Cellar were these fellas Matt Stukin and Josh Campbell. Are you
Ah.
familiar with them?
No, but I saw their names.
Very, very fledgling writers. One of them used to be an editor, like an assistant editor. They're just sort of Hollywood hangers on, but they wrote this script, The Cellar, that had some buzz going, baby. So JJ gets involved. He takes a look at the script. He's like, it's pretty good, but it's lacking something. All right.
Were they
We
already thinking Cloverfield?
no.
Okay.
They didn't start thinking Cloverfield until they were already making the movie.
Oh, that's so lame.
And they didn't even tell the cast that they told the cast that they were thinking of making it a Cloverfield movie or like a spiritual successor, but they didn't tell them that like the word Cloverfield was going to be in the title until like a month before it came out.
Why? They think they're gonna spoil it for everybody?
No, I think they just didn't know that it was going to be a Cloverfield movie.
Is it only shown on the mailbox? Do they?
Yeah, in the actual movie, it is never really referred to as a Cloverfield movie.
I guess I didn't think
I
about
mean,
that.
there are like weird J.J. Abrams like nerd references, like Slusho or whatever, but like that's in all of his movies. So it would have probably been there with if it wasn't a Cloverfield movie.
Right.
There's a fucking Slusho reference in Star Trek.
Yeah, I guess I missed it.
I guess you did. Next time you watch Star Trek, you'll see Slusho and you'll be like, "Oh, that's that stupid thing."
Slusho's a character?
No, Slusho is it's like a sort of Slurpee variation that was introduced on Alias, and now it's like appeared in all of J.J. Abrams' stuff. That's the company that the dude in the first movie was going to work for in Japan.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then in the Cloverfield Paradox, I don't know if you noticed, but on the desk of somebody in that spaceship, there's like a little Slusho bobblehead guy.
No, didn't notice it.
I can't believe you didn't notice that. All that Slusho talk last week, when that shot showed up, I was like, Logan's noticing this right now.
I'm sorry. It's like it's Cornetto, kind of.
Yeah, it is like that. It's just like that.
Okay. Is Cornetto a real thing?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Okay. Slusho is not, though. He made that up.
What a genius.
What a genius. Okay, so they need somebody to rewrite this movie because the script is like cool, but like it's not a movie yet.
Right. Got to get
All
the
right.
coolest guy in town.
Gotta get some young hotshot to come in and take this to the promised land. And I gotta tell you, Logan, last time I saw this movie, I mean, until I watched this for this podcast and saw this name in the credits, I could not have told you that this man was involved in a Cloverfield movie.
Yeah, you didn't know this?
I couldn't believe my eyes. The writer, the final, like, I guess, like, final draft writer of this movie, and he was initially hired to direct as well,
Wow.
was Damien Chazelle. Okay? Damien Chazelle at this point had done the Whiplash short film, but not the Whiplash movie. All right? So he was just this like young hotshot cool guy that was like drifting through Hollywood. He was in his like mid-20s and he directed this cool short film that everyone thought was going to be something. So he went to write 10 Cloverfield Lane and then got the opportunity to make the movie, like, and it would have been like around the same time he was making this movie. So he had to drop out of directing 10 Cloverfield Lane because he got the opportunity to adapt his short film into a feature film, which turned out to be a great move and it won a bunch of Oscars.
Yes, great decision.
Yeah. And of course, he went on to La La Land and First Man, and he's one of the top guys now. Has he made a fourth movie yet?
I don't think so. I think
he's got one coming out soon, Babylon.
Oh, is it a remake of all the other Babylon movies?
I don't believe there's a single other movie called that.
Isn't there like Babylon AD?
Yep. You still
Babylon.
haven't given me a movie just called Babylon.
All right, I'm sure there's one out there.
There's a great Long Island Railroad train station called that.
Should we rank Whiplash, La La Land, First Man? I go Whiplash, First Man, La La Land.
I agree.
Oh, they're all four above though. 1-5.
No, I don't like La La Land.
I like it, but I saw it when I was like 19, 18, or 19 years old.
I don't know. A lot of people like that movie. I'm not giving you shit, but
I know.
Not for me. But I will be there soon. Maybe if I watch La La Land on my way to Los Angeles, I'll like it more.
It's possible. Or you'll hate it.
Or maybe on my way home. Maybe on my way home, like you'll have the nostalgia magic in me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's possible.
All right. Yeah, recording on the road next week, baby. Get ready. All right. Anyway, let's talk about the actual guy who ended up directing this.
Yeah.
All right. Dan Trachtenberg, no relation to Harriet the Spy. And another...
Is he Jewish? He's got Berg.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely Jewish. All right. He got his start pushing himself on the YouTubes.
Yeah.
He directed a short film, a live-action short film based on the video game Portal 2. Now, that is a game I'm familiar with because it's my former co-host Nathaniel's favorite video game of all time.
Wow.
And I've never seen the short film, but apparently this thing got him noticed. What a weird time for Hollywood. You could just get noticed on YouTube. That's not a thing anymore.
Remember Lights Out? Wasn't that like the same thing?
Yeah, absolutely it was. And that guy, he's directing Shazam movies now.
Yeah. Did he do No, that's a different guy. I was gonna say the Kong Skull Island, but I think that's another guy.
No, that's a different guy. Lights Out was just top of mind because Comic-Con was just this week and they were promoting that Shazam movie. And he said that he wants to go back to horror after this next one. So I was excited about that because I like that Lights Out movie.
Yeah, I thought that was okay. Who's the girl in that? I feel like I liked the girl in that. I don't remember.
I feel like I do too, but I don't remember who it is. I wouldn't mind it if you looked that up.
I don't think I will. But I have some news. I watched that Portal short film.
Are you fucking crazy?
Yeah, I watched it yesterday.
When? Yesterday for this podcast?
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. How was it?
It was like 7 minutes long. I wasn't that into it, honestly. It's like there's like a whole minute where a girl's just like doing push-ups.
Okay, but he was just a fledgling guy. He's got nothing, and he made this movie for no money. Does it look like he can do something with nothing?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
And you can see why he was hired to make this movie, because it's just like a woman trapped in a thing and she doesn't know what's real and she's trying to get out.
I don't know, man. It's not easy. These movies, these self-contained movies, people think they're easy because they're lower budget, but there's a lot of moving parts. Like, I think this movie's uncommonly well choreographed for a movie like this. You really understand the layout of that shelter, where everything is, how everything's gonna work, to the point where she's like running all around it at the end, like in the air ducts and shit. Like, I know exactly what's going on.
It's not as good as Split, which is like this.
I disagree. This is a better movie than Split.
Oh, I don't think that's true at all. I think this movie went down for me in my mind watching it again.
That's crazy. This movie went up for me in my mind.
I didn't think it was that well directed. I thought the choreography. I thought there was like a lot of editing where if you like with just like a little bit of time, you don't have to do that. And like toward the end when she's like escaping, I thought it could have been shot a little cooler. I don't know.
I disagree. I fucking loved all that shit.
I wanted to love it.
All those wide open spaces at the end, like you're claustrophobic the whole movie, then all of a sudden you're so outside and it's so big. The scope of it expands like massively within just a couple minutes. I love this movie. I'm only 20 minutes into this podcast. We just started talking about this movie. I love it. I'm not gonna give it a 5 because I've got a couple issues with it, but I love this movie.
Wow, that's great. I can't wait to get into it then.
All right. So Trachtenberg directed it, and we'll cover this fella again pretty soon because he's yet to follow up this movie.
Yeah.
Weirdly,
he did do I saw the pilot of The Boys. He did the first episode of The Boys TV show.
Yeah, and he did a Black Mirror. He's had a few things in development that haven't gotten made and shit, but he's finally getting something made, bro. He's doing this new Predator movie.
Oh yeah, that's what that was. And I saw the trailer for that, and I was like pretty into it.
And it's debuting on Hulu, so we'll have to cover it.
Why? Do we have to cover everything on Hulu?
No, I'm just saying, like, we covered all the Predator movies on this podcast.
Yeah, that'll be good.
So
should we get Henry back? Should he come back?
Of course not.
Yeah.
No, it's too soon.
Yeah. Okay.
Prey is the name of that movie.
Which is good. I like that.
Oh my god, dude! I saw a trailer in front of Nope, and I laughed at the title. It was a horror movie called Pray for the Devil, but it was Prey.
I didn't see that one.
Pretty stupid. All right. So this film, they finally put it out March 11th, 2016. I didn't see it in theaters. I waited to DVD. Did you see it?
Also on DVD.
Got it. Okay. And they had a budget of $15 million ultimately. It made 110.2 at the box office worldwide. Domestically, it came in at number 44. Actually, it made right under it at 45 is that movie Lights Out that you just referenced.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then 43 there was
This
Storks.
is better than that movie, I think.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever cover that on We Love Kids movies?
No, we never did.
Is there Storks too?
I don't know.
I don't think so, right?
Now they bring you babies, huh?
Yeah.
In the world of the Storks film, do people fuck? Is it like people fuck and then the stork brings the baby, or is it a sexless world?
I think there's just no pregnancies.
Oh, really? People are just raw dogging all the time with no fucking
no repercussions. Yeah.
And then a stork comes in, brings. Do you have to request the baby, or does the stork come in like a surprise? Because that's
a good
fucked
question.
up, right? Like, because in the world right now, I could either have protected sex if I don't want a baby, or unprotected sex if I do want a baby. But in that world, you can. I mean, it just depends on the feel, right? Either you want to feel a condom on your hog or not, and then like it doesn't even matter. Like a stork's, regardless of anything, is going to deliver a baby.
It might be the same exact way. Just skip the pregnancy part.
Could I write, like the day I turn 18, could I write a form to like the stork industry saying I never want one? Leave me alone. Storks, stay clear of my house.
No.
You don't think that's possible?
Nope, I don't think so.
Somebody watch this Storks and get back to me about the rules of this.
I'm sure Tim
Storkiverse.
has seen it, right?
He had
to have seen it.
I guess. Tim, get back to me. All right. This movie, the Saturn Awards fucking loved it, bro.
So Saturn is between Uranus and Neptune. Saturn, whoa, sci-fi blessed films.
So this film was nominated for 4 Saturn Awards,
Wow.
Logan, and it won 3 of them.
Wow. That's 75%.
That's 75% success rate. That's passing in high school. All right. Best thriller film. Don't even worry about it. It was the best thriller film of the year, according to the Saturn Awards.
Well,
It beat Hell or High Water.
I was more thrilled during that movie.
It beat, hey, how about this? Split nominated.
Oh,
It beat
no.
Split. And The Shallows. All right.
Oh, the Shallows.
Oh, whoa, whoa, oh, oh, oh. Hey, speaking of, somebody was in this film, Logan, who saw Lady Gaga in a room full of people and noticed her for her
Oh, you're
talent.
right about that. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe my ears. Okay, in the opening of this movie, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, the winner of the Saturn Award for Best Actress,
Wow.
2016. Yeah. All right, beating such luminaries as Amy Adams for Arrival, Taraji Henson for Hidden Figures, Felicity Jones for Rogue One, and Jennifer Lawrence for Passengers.
No Blake Lively. We just said that she didn't get that. She's the only one in that movie.
For
No.
what?
For the Shahallows. No,
Blake Lively?
For the for the Shallows?
Oh, Shallows. Right. Yeah. Sorry, I was thinking of Star is Born.
Oh no. Make that with her. That'd be good.
I agree. Yeah. So she is fleeing her boyfriend at the start of the film. Okay. It actually reminded me a lot of the beginning of Psycho, where like Janet Leigh is trying to take off with that money.
Yeah, but we like hang out with that dude for a while.
The dude? I mean, he's only in one scene.
It's like a memorable scene, though, if I remember.
Because it's the first scene of the movie. But
doesn't Vigo play that guy in the remake? Like, if they cast him Vigo, it's
yeah,
not a thankless
absolute-
role. Yeah, he's like a guy.
It was Vigo in 1998. He wasn't really a thing yet.
Oh, okay.
Hey, the Saturn.
Well, I guess they cast B Coop in this one, so.
Well, but it was such a shock. Okay, so I think like this movie, 10 Cloverfield Lane, just skips the Viggo Mortensen scene, and it starts with her fleeing. Okay, and the first voice we really hear in the movie is her listening to a voicemail from this deadbeat boyfriend. All right, and it's just straight up. I was like, hang on a second, was her boyfriend a talking raccoon?
I didn't pick up on it.
Because the voice on the line sounded an awful lot like Rocket Raccoon to me.
No. Well, that's a different voice.
That's the same voice. So Coop Scoop, he's here. He's doing the voice. He's got a JJ connection. That's probably why he's here. He played Jennifer Garner's best friend, Unrequited Love, in Alias.
Did they end up together?
No.
Mm.
He's only in the first 2 seasons. I mean,
Does he
came back
die?
a couple. No, actually. He came back a couple times for guest appearances.
Oh.
It was just sort of a thing. He was like part of her normal life. And as her spy life became more and more prominent on the show, he got less and less screen time.
Okay.
Yeah. But Cooper, here he is, not getting a lot of screen time, but voice time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, anyway. Back to the Saturns. We already have this thing winning thriller and actress. What else was it nominated for? Supporting actor. John Goodman walking away with that Saturn Award.
Wow, good for him.
Beating such luminaries as Chadwick Boseman for Captain America Civil War.
Wow.
Dan Fogler for Fantastic Beasts. Diego Luna for Rogue One. He's getting spun off.
Really?
You don't know about that? There's an upcoming Rogue One television program that's premiering at the end of this. It's a prequel.
What? Who could possibly care about that one?
It's a prequel to the prequel. Andor, it's called. And it's about the Diego Luna character. You'll be loving that.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right. And the only other award that it was nominated for that it lost was editing, which it weirdly lost to the BFG.
Good.
What is with you? You like all of a sudden don't like 10 Cloverfield Lane?
I liked it. I just thought the editing wasn't amazing.
Better than the BFG.
I haven't seen that.
Fucking, they should have edited out all the parts of that movie.
So I shouldn't add that to my list.
No. All right. The only other awards voting body to recognize the film were the Teen slogan.
It's the teen choice award.
And the teens, something's happening to the teens at this point. I'm worried about the teens of this nation.
Mm-hmm.
This great nation. Okay. It's not a great nation. Anyway, the teens, I like what's happening right now. They're very progressive, you know? But I also feel that there's this type of teen that came up after 9/11. You know, like they were born in like 2000 to 2003, and their parents were very patriotic after 9/11. There were a lot of American flags around the house. They voted for Bush a couple of times. All right. They were a little racist about Obama. The birther movement was for them. They maybe voted for Trump. And now they've got this kid in the house. All right. Who's just grown up with all that. I'm worried about these kids. And I thought about this when I saw that 10 Cloverfield Lane lost the Best Drama Teen Choice Award to Miracles from Heaven, a Christian film.
Never heard of that.
What do you mean?
Miracles
You're in
from
Alabama.
heaven? I don't know
I always-
miracles from
listen,
heaven.
This pisses me off, honestly. This honestly pisses me off because
That I don't know
you walk
miracles from
through
heaven?
life, you walk through life having to hear about these bullshit Christian movies, all right? They get released constantly. Like once a month, maybe, one of these Christian movies comes out, makes a bunch of bank. Everyone's like, where the fuck did that come from? And what you're told is it's the flyover stage. They're all going to see these movies. You don't know. You live in your New York bubble, baby, and you think like the biggest show on TV is Better Call Saul. That's not what people are watching. People are watching Miracles.
Yellowstone.
Yeah, Yellowstone. That's what people are watching.
We love it.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, so it's always been my contention that like if I leave New York and go to Alabama, and I'm like, hey, if I go to like the AMC and I look at someone's little badge where it says like their favorite movies, like I went to see Nope this weekend and their badge said The Martix. He had misspelled The Matrix.
Wow.
Okay, but I knew what he meant, The Martix. And I would think in Alabama they would all say Miracles from Heaven or
Gone
God's
with the
Not
Wind.
Dead. No,
No.
God's Not Dead or Left Behind. You know? And
Heaven is
but
for real.
Heaven is for Real, another great one. And you're telling me you're out here just not even knowing about these movies.
No, I never.
But how are you not hearing about them through osmosis from their mass popularity in the flyover states in which you live?
Well, I really tried to drown that out. But I looked it up. I have seen this poster before. And you didn't say Jennifer Garner was in it. If you had said that, I would have known.
She was in a Christian movie?
Yeah, she's in this one.
Yeah. That's a bummer.
And Queen Latifah. She's got the and credit.
Queen's in it?
Queen is in it.
Boy, did you watch that Sandler basketball movie?
Yeah, I did. John Carroll Lynch is in it.
He's a good actor. I just saw him on that
Bruce Altman.
Gaslit. All right, calm down.
Oh, yeah.
What was I just talking about?
Hustle.
Yeah. How good. Queen Latifah.
Them together.
She's become quite an actress, I gotta say, because she's a gay woman in real life, okay? And I have seen Queen Latifah in rom-coms. I tried to watch one with her in Common once, and I was like, you are so clearly a lesbian, and you so clearly have no chemistry with Common whatsoever. I don't even know what I'm watching here. So I never even finished that movie, Logan. But then, Adam Sandler basketball movie, he plays a college coach. She's his wife. All of a sudden, I'm looking at some of the greatest romantic chemistry I've ever seen on the screen.
Maybe because Common is supposed to be like sexual energy and she just wasn't feeling it. But with Sandler, they're just like a loving, adorable couple.
But they seem like they love each other.
They did.
Like their kids, I believe that they had loving sex to produce them.
I buy it too. I get what you're saying.
I can't believe it. I can't believe the actor Adam Sandler has become. I can't believe the actress Queen Latifah has become a toast to Queen and the Sandman. All hail.
Aye, aye.
Aye, aye.
I don't know. I thought that seemed right to say.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about the movie.
Oh, yeah.
I already talked about the beginning, the psycho shit.
Yeah, Bradley Cooper. Rocket Raccoon.
Rocket Raccoon. Now, this film, Does it take place in the near future? I couldn't tell. Or is this supposed to be like now and some weird shit's happening?
I thought, well, don't they all take place when Cloverfield takes place?
Logan, we'll have to talk about that when we reach the paradox. Because I've
Okay.
got some real fucking problems with that contention.
But don't they all take place at like the start of this invasion?
No.
No?
First of all, how does this movie fit in with any of them? Like, I understand what you're telling me. Like, the Cloverfield Paradox establishes, the third one that we're about to talk about, it establishes that this isn't an anthology and this is somehow all taking place in the same multiverse. I couldn't believe I heard the word multiverse again. And
Well, some of it's taking place in the same reality, and then some of it is also taking place in a different multiverse.
but it seems to me, Logan, that monster in the original Cloverfield and that shows up at the end of Cloverfield Paradox
Right.
is like its own thing. All right. And then in this movie, it's revealed at the end that it's this mass alien invasion, a very War of the Worldsy alien invasion, by the way. And
Nope, too, when it's like inside the little thing going up it, that was War of the Worlds, right? Going up inside the UFO. There's like a shot in War of the Worlds where you're inside the thing and it's going up the tube. Come on.
yeah, I guess it was a different take on it, but for sure. But
Should
like,
I
how
edit
does
that
this?
out? I feel like Nope just came out. Should I like?
It doesn't matter. What's the? But what is the fucking deal? Like, where does this take place? How is the monster? Are we supposed to believe that the monster is wreaking havoc somewhere during this?
Yes, I think that.
What?
Well, they say like the incident just happened and he ran into the bunker with John Goodman. So I think we're supposed to believe like outside in the world that monster. We're like a couple days into that.
I think you're crazy.
Really?
Because she's never heard of what's happening.
Because she was in a wreck, and then this is a few days after that. That was
Oh.
like before it happened. He said that like he was on his way back. He heard the news and he ran into her.
I think you're reaching, man. I remember the first time I
Really?
watched this. Yeah, the first time I watched this movie, I spent the whole time trying to make Cloverfield connections in my head. Like, where does this fit? And that's pretty much what I thought was going on. Like, we're hanging out in this bunker while the fucking monster's wreaking havoc outside. And I really believed that to be the case because I'd read interviews with J.J. Abrams and Matt Reeves and Drew Goddard where they'd talked. Remember, I said last week they talked about doing like another movie that takes place on the same night from like a different perspective.
Yeah, the camera guy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so I thought like they had just gone another way with it, and this was that, but like in a bunker. But then when she gets out at the end and we see that fucking spaceship, and what we realize is that that lady who had been, remember there a lady like shows up at the bunker
Right.
and like her face is all burned and shit.
Mhm.
By the way, the whole movie is just John Goodman traps Mary Elizabeth Winstead in a bunker during supposedly a huge thing happening outside. That's the whole movie.
And
Anyway.
the other guy, John
And
Gallagher.
the
Jr.
other guy, John Gallagher Jr. who you may
JGJ.
remember. Everyone knows him as the guy from the newsroom.
Oh, I know him from. I mean, this is his big year for me. I know him from this, Hush, and the Belko Experiment.
What's Hush?
You never saw Hush? That's the guy who made the Haunting of Hill House. It's with his wife. She's deaf in a house. and
Oh
this
yeah,
guy-
isn't it like a short film?
No, it was like a full. It was on Netflix. Like
Really?
in 2016.
I skipped that, man.
Really? You should watch. It's pretty good.
I was like, listen, I've already seen a Buffy episode called Hush and this movie with Gwyneth Paltrow from the 90s. I'm good on movies called
no,
Hush.
that's good. It's pretty good.
All right. Maybe I'll check it out. But anyway,
And he's in
right.
You ever see Short Term 12?
Yeah, he's great in that. And he's in an early episode of The West Wing as like a really young boy. And I wonder whether
Wow.
Aaron Sorkin remembered him and put him in the newsroom because of that.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I always think that's cool. Anyway.
Can I tell you something that I thought was kind of interesting?
Yes.
All three of the actors Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Goodman, and JGJ. All their number one movie on IMDb. It's this movie.
A very popular IMDb movie,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Goodman has had so many movies, and this is his number one.
A lot of his biggest movie roles are supporting roles, you know? Like his star vehicles didn't work that well. So this might be like the biggest role he has in like a combination of biggest role, most successful movie.
Is he King Ralph?
Yeah, he's the titular King Ralph, and that is worth watching.
Oh, I'll add it to my list.
I'm a big King Ralph fan. I think the movie's underrated.
But he's been in like 5 Coen Brothers movies.
No, I know, but he like shows up. Like I looked on IMDb and I saw like his other top credits on there are like Flight and Argo, and like those are movies where he like shows up for a few scenes and it's like weaponized John Goodman. It's like this movie's getting a little stale. Let's bring in John Goodman. He'll pick things up for a few scenes and then he'll get out of there.
Or you think maybe Monsters Inc. would be high on there, even though it's just his voice? Like
Well,
that's what I knew
Roseanne.
him from.
I can't believe Roseanne
That's
isn't his
true.
top thing.
That's true.
Yeah. Anyway, the Connors.
Yeah.
He just got married on that show.
Is he like the lead?
Of course, he's Dan Connor, motherfucker.
But now it's like just his show, basically.
Well, they killed off Roseanne.
Right.
That's why they had to retitle it The Connors. And it's him and his grown kids and shit. And they just married him off to Katie Seagal from Married with Children.
I was watching Groundhog Day yesterday, and at a certain point they start calling him Dr. Connors. It was so weird.
Oh, because of the lizard?
Yeah, there's like Dr. Connors for like that's like 10 minutes where they're called.
Yeah. Well, he's a meteorologist. He has his doctorate.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. That's maybe my favorite part of that movie is the opening of just Bill Murray doing the weather.
Oh yeah, he's funny there.
I just love Bill Murray.
I know you do.
Just put him like just on a set and let him go, and I want to watch that.
Yeah.
All right, where were we? Oh, I was getting back to this lady. This lady shows up to the bunker, right? And she's like burned. And that like proves to Mary Elizabeth Winstead that something is going on outside because she's thought the whole time that John Goodman's just like gaslighting her.
Right.
To like, fucking.
Like that movie you watched.
It was a miniseries, but yeah,
Oh.
Gaslit.
Why do you log them on Letterboxd if it's a miniseries?
I just log anything if it's on Letterboxd.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
Wrestling
put them in your
pay-per-views.
rankings too? Like everything's in your rankings?
TV shows I do. Sometimes if it's like a stand-up special or something, I'll leave it out.
Okay. Inside.
I didn't watch that.
Did you ever see his he posted outtakes for it?
I didn't watch that. either.
I love the title for it. He titled it the Inside Outtakes. That's pretty good.
Inside Out takes. That's good.
Yeah.
It is clever.
Yeah, very good. Way to go, Bo.
Hey, listen. I'm a fan of bloopers. And if you're cleverly titling your bloopers, I'm impressed.
Yeah. But you won't watch it, but you're impressed.
That's right. I'll be impressed from afar, and I'll watch your next work when it's a feature film. Okay, so let me give it to this lady. This lady shows up at the bunker. And I don't know if you recognize her, but it's, of course, the great Suzanne Cryer from Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place.
Related to John?
Not related to John, unfortunately. She was also in Silicon Valley, and she actually showed up in the Cloverfield Paradox, which blew my mind. And I was like, is it the same character?
I didn't know. That's crazy.
It's like when they're watching news footage in the Cloverfield Paradox of like what's going on back on Earth. She's one of the news ladies.
What?
Yeah. I'm catching Cloverfield connections all over the place.
That's a weird choice.
The problem is none of them make sense.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, none of them make sense. So she shows up all burnt, and later on at the end of the movie, you see like the UFO or whatever dropping some like green mist.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sort of like Tajiri. Tajiri likes to
Sure.
spit a green mist. This UFO does a similar thing. It spits a green mist on you. It's a
Sure.
great WWF reference for people who understand what I'm talking about. Fucking she puts that like hazmat suit that she made on, and it works. So it leads you to believe that green mist is supposed to like burn people alive, and then they use those like tendrils to like bring you up into the spaceship. Okay?
Yeah.
That's, I think, what the aliens are doing. So if that is the plan, then what's this monster doing gallivanting in New York and his little dandruff monsters? Like what how does that connect to an alien invasion?
There are different kinds of aliens.
So your contention is like some of them are small and driving around in spaceship and some of them are giant monsters, or is it that these are like, because what I was starting to think is that Cloverfield Paradox does a thing where it separates the universe into like
Well,
two different things.
mhm.
And so is maybe one world being attacked by aliens and one world being attacked by this monster? Is that
That's a good
possible?
question. Yeah, that's possible. Another thing, at one point, John Goodman says like, this is like the second wave. Like we hear helicopters and stuff, and he's like, all right, now this is the second wave. Now they're like doing like ground military, trying to kill everybody or
So
something.
do you think the first wave was the nuclear weapon in Manhattan?
Right. Was the first wave that monster? Because we know they've been there a few days.
Why wouldn't he tell like to explain the gravity of the situation if he knows about the first wave? Why wouldn't he say if the first wave was in fact the first Cloverfield that New York is gone? There's no New York anymore. Like that would blow her mind and she'd be like in it to like hang out.
I think he doesn't know. I think he just assumes everywhere is gone. Right? Because he assumes like his daughter is dead or his wife is dead.
Didn't he
all
kill
those people.
them?
Yeah, but he says like his daughter is with the wife. So he's saying he assumes that they're dead. So I think that they just assume that everybody's dead.
Yeah, he thinks like he's building his own civilization underground or something, and they're gonna like check in 2 years to see like whether there's still like nuclear fallout or something. I guess.
It's weird because this guy's not a villain to them, but also he is a bad guy who killed his daughter.
Yeah, so what's happening is John Goodman, as it turns out, has abducted and murdered at least one girl that we know about.
Right.
Okay? And I'm not even
Megan.
talking about the daughter. Is Megan his daughter?
Yeah. Oh no, he said. Oh, sorry. He says it's his daughter, but then it's like,
yeah, it's not.
The other guy went to school with her, and she went missing. And
yeah.
it's her.
The explanation to Mary Elizabeth Winstead is that she's
You're
his
right.
daughter because she finds like teen magazines around the place, and she's like, "Where the fuck did this come from?" And like my explanation would have been just like, "I'm jaying out to them."
Yeah, or just like you got them for entertainment. There doesn't have to be an explanation, really.
Yeah, like adults can't look at teen magazines.
Also, why would you even have that thought?
I do that literally
like a magazine.
all the time. Every
What?
second of my life, you can assume I'm looking at a teen magazine.
All right, breaking news.
I'm just joking. So yeah, he's a creep, but ultimately he's brought them down there to save them. But I also think like his end game is like, let's get rid of this Gallagher guy, and like eventually I'll be able to convince Winstead like we're the last two people in the world.
You think that's his end goal?
Yeah, baby.
I mean, he
Let's
doesn't really turn on them
repopulate.
until they're turning on him, really.
But when Gallagher is the first, he dies. And one of the things the first reaction he has when Gallagher's dead is this is how it should be. This is how it always should have been. Just the two of us, finally.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Right, because the guy is a bad guy, as we know, but he
Mhm.
never did anything bad in the movie. So he would have to do something bad at some point. So I guess you're right. That must have been his end goal.
This is all bad. Everything he's doing. He's abducting and gaslighting.
But he thinks
these
he's
people.
saving them.
He thinks he is, but
he is, right?
He's saving them from like what's going on outside, but ultimately what's going on down there isn't much better. Like John Goodman, it seems like went down there instantly without learning of anything that was going on up there. And like the second she goes up, like she hears a news report that's like, hey, go to Baton Rouge. There's lots of survivors there. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
But she doesn't. She does this badass thing where it's like, but if you can fight, come to Houston.
Oh, yeah.
And she
you're right
sees
about
that like fork in the road and she's like, I'm going to go fucking fight.
That was a little lame how it was like, this way to Baton Rouge, this way to Houston.
That
like
was a little lame. I fucking walk out of this movie cheering my ass off at the new greatest hero in movies.
That was way on the nose. It was like, come to Baton Rouge for this, come to Houston for this, pan over to the sign.
Yeah, it's literally
saying
a
Baton
sign
Rouge.
like 20 miles to Baton Rouge, 15 miles to Houston. Where are you gonna go? Hey, listen. That's not the dumbest part of the end of this movie. Because the dumbest part of the end of this movie is when she knocks over his fucking mailbox and it says Cloverfield Lane on it.
No, the fans cheered in the audience.
No, they didn't. Well, I didn't see it in theaters, but maybe they did. Maybe
sure
they
they
did. Who knows? But I wish that wasn't in the movie. The title's fine enough. It's a clever title. Keep it to the title.
Yeah, it didn't bother me, I gotta say.
I also like the logo of this movie, Logan.
Me too.
How like one of the lines goes up and one down to like signify that we're underground.
Yeah, no, I like that too. And something I also liked, actually, when she's in the car wreck at the beginning, it does this thing where it stops and it shows a production company, and then it keeps going, and then it shows another production company.
I
kinda
dug
like
that too, and they clearly knew that was good because they did it for the next one too. Did you notice
Didn't
that?
work.
It
Yeah, it
didn't
didn't
work.
work.
You're totally right.
Yeah,
but they tried it.
Yeah, no, it wasn't as good. Something else I actually wanted to say was the trailer for this movie. I remember when the trailer came out. This was like, I think this is like in my top 10 favorite trailers of all time. I remember when this
man.
trailer came out. It was so cool, and it still is. I watched it yesterday. Great trailer.
Sorry, the movie was such a letdown.
No, it's good.
What was the trailer? I don't remember it.
It's just that song playing.
What song?
What is it? I think we're alone now.
Oh.
and it's going. I think that plays in the movie.
It
actually.
does,
And,
yeah.
And they're doing like the montage of them playing Monopoly, and then shit starts going crazy, and she smashes the bottle and runs upstairs, and she looks out, and then it's like 10 Cloverfield Lane. It's cool. It's only like a minute. It's like a short trailer. It's good.
Yeah, I think we're alone now. Were you familiar with that song?
Yeah, everybody's heard that song.
That's Tiffany, of course.
I remember it from the 10 Cloverfield Lane trailer.
Tiffany was a female pop star in the 80s, and she went on mall tours, and she would go perform that song in malls, all right? And she still got a lot of fans, and I recommend a great documentary called I Think We're Alone Now, which tracks a guy who is just stalking Tiffany.
Oh my god, that sounds really scary.
It is incredible. It's only like an hour and 10 minutes long or something, and it is so worth watching. It's just a portrait of a creep.
That's like a perfect title. I'm adding that to my list right now.
Yeah, cool.
What are you done? Or you just want me to say other things I liked?
Yeah, keep
didn't like?
going. I don't care.
Well, there's one part that I kind of laughed at where she's like telling this. At a certain point, they start talking about regrets. Like they're like, "What do you regret?"
They've
Remember
had
that
a
part?
few. They've had a few. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's like, one time I was in a store and this guy was like pulling on his daughter and he hit her, and then I ran off. And I was just thinking about like Mary Elizabeth Winstead watching from afar, and then she like gets so scared she runs off like through a department store because she's so scared of this guy.
Well, I think that this was establishing that she has some kind of physical abuse in her past.
Yeah, she says that like her brother always saved her and she wanted to, but she says she ran off like she was so scared she took off.
Well, she's got trauma from it, dude.
I don't know. I'm just imagining somebody running through it.
Do you think Cooper's beating her at the beginning? You think that's why she's running off at the start of this?
No. She says it was her dad. I don't think we're meant to believe that.
But who knows, man? Cooper might have, like, in the middle of an argument, he laid a hand, might not have hit her, but took. You ever? The hand comes up, yeah, and you put it down. Or maybe the hand forms a fist, and then it unclenches. But it's scary. It's
possible. She does grab like alcohol on her way out the door, doesn't she?
Yeah,
isn't that like a
it
big
seems
thing?
like she's a little messy at the beginning of the movie.
I was thinking maybe she grabbed that to prevent him. She was like, "This will show him. I'm gonna take his last bottle."
Oh, really? I
just now thought about it because we're talking about it.
All right. Well, I guess that's what happens if you talk too much about movies.
Yeah. Did you like the Finding Nemo part of this movie?
Huh?
Where something's wrong with like the air filter and she has to climb through the air duct to go and fix it.
Why is that like? Oh, because he goes into that filter. You're right.
Yeah, they got to clean. Or they
I
make
forgot
the
about
cage dirty.
That part's great.
Of Finding Nemo.
Yeah,
or this?
of Finding Nemo.
Yeah, it is great. Willem Dafoe is just like teaching him how to
Yeah,
swim through the thing.
that
Yeah,
is
it's great.
awesome.
And that's where she sees like the help on the thing.
Oh yeah, no, that was all good.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and it's scraped from the inside, and she's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, and she finds like an earring or whatever.
Yeah, dude, there's a lot of clues. Come on, this is a quick and easy movie. It gets in, it gets out, it prevents an easy scenario to understand, and you really want her to get the fuck out of there. And then she does, you feel a little relief, and then the crazy ending happens. Love this movie. Fucking knocks it out of the park.
I had too many questions.
Best possible sequel to Clover. I think you just have to not have questions. Like, to me, I spent the whole first time I watched this movie thinking about connections to Cloverfield, and then even in the close of the movie, like you see like the big spaceship and stuff, like in that lightning blast. Like, how cool is that last shot? And I'm like, I'm thinking, oh, they must have sent in the monster as like the first wave of the invasion, and then and I'm thinking, the second time I watched this movie, this time I just put all that out of my mind. Let's just watch this as a fucking movie. It's an anthology series. The third one sucks anyway. Let's do this. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed myself a lot.
Wow. So 5 stars?
No, I'm gonna give it a 4.
Well, 4 stars. And I'll give it 3 stars.
It's better than a 3, man. It's better. I think this is a 4. I think this is a solid 4.
I didn't think so. I didn't like how it was written, to be honest.
By Damien Chazelle? Yeah, what a
Could have been
shitty
the
writer.
other guys.
No, it's all Chazelle. But I mean, and this has like all your Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Like, can't you at least have her to hang on to?
Yeah. Yeah. She's great.
She's looking
love
fucking
her.
fragrant in this movie.
Yeah, I love her so much.
All right. Hey, I discovered. Hey, you know what's great about this movie? She's barefoot, like the whole thing.
Yeah, didn't notice.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, I know you did.
She's no shoes in this film. I was into it. I was just like, Mary Elizabeth Winstead. She's a great actress, but just what a specimen. I was losing my mind at some points. She's got these like dimples above her butt. It's unbelievable.
You know what else I thought about was like going from in the first movie Lizzie Kaplan to Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Like that's like somebody has a type. Somebody on Cloverfield has a type.
Well, JJ kind of does, doesn't he? He like
Does he? I don't know.
Well, I mean, his first show, Felicity, he picked Carrie Russell up like she wasn't really a thing yet. And then he kind of got known for like discovering ingenue actors with each of his TV projects because then with Alias it was Jennifer Garner, and with what was his third show? Oh, Lost. It was Evangeline Lilly. And then with Fringe, it was this lady Anna Torv, who's gone on to cool things like Mindhunter. And so around this time, there was a lot of pressure on J.J. Abrams to like come up with cool female leads. Like Zoe Saldana was another big win for him in that first Star Trek movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. Mary Elizabeth Winstead was much more established, but I definitely think like it's keeping with that like basic J.J. Abrams leading lady.
Oh, she's like a real thing at this point.
Oh yeah, I mean she'd already done like
everything.
Die Hard and Scott Pilgrim and
yeah, she had done everything.
What? You don't know that?
What do you mean?
You know what she's done?
Yeah, I do.
I don't know.
Something else. At one point, she starts a fire in like an air vent to like get him in. She's gonna stab him with one of her crutches. Yeah. Why did he not take her matches off of her? He left matches in her pocket. That seemed like a stupid move.
I don't remember.
Yeah, well, I did, and that seemed crazy to me. Bad move, John Goodman. What's his name? Howard?
Yeah. Howard Stampler. And his brother's in the next movie.
Whose brother?
This is John Goodman.
What?
There's a character in the next movie who's established as having the same last name as the John Goodman character and having also worked on Satellites, which John Goodman says that he did in this movie.
Gone right. That one right over my
There's
head.
a lot
Who
of
is that?
fucking Cloverfield connections.
Chris O'Dowd? Who is
Nope. We only see him for one scene on like a video screen. It's Donal Logue.
this? Oh my goodness, they're brothers.
Mhm.
Holy shit. By the way, I think you said one time during our Resident Evil thing, like anytime Donal Logue's in a movie, he's gonna be your MVP. So I guess we'll see.
Oh, for Paradox?
Yeah.
I mean, he's only in one scene.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll see. My MVP. Well, it's between two. Who are you gonna go with?
Gotta be Mew.
Oh. Okay.
No,
That's
you
what I
know
was gonna
what?
go
You know
with.
what? It's gotta be Goodman. I love
good.
Mary
Now I feel
Elizabeth
better.
Winstead, but it does have to be Goodman.
Then I'm gonna go Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Okay, that's fine.
LVP.
John
The other guy?
Gallagher. Yeah, I mean, look, there's only 3 parts in this movie, and he's the weakest.
I want to go Trachtenberg. Can I do that?
What are you talking? There's a breakout.
It's the only one he's done for a reason.
It's not for a reason. He directed the pilot of The Boys. That's like a big thing.
Yeah, and I actually do remember liking that episode.
I
It was
bet
like a big WTF moment.
did they knock over one of the Twin Towers, but not the other one?
I don't remember that happening.
I remember that from the comic.
All right, I'll go JGJ then.
All right, fine. God damn it. I need Dan Trachtenberg's next movie to fucking knock your fucking socks off.
I hope it
just
does.
to prove you wrong.
No, I'm rooting for Prey.
Oh, right. That's his next movie. Is that
Yeah.
going to be good?
I
Doesn't
saw the
it,
trailer. It looked kind of cool.
isn't she like indigenous? It's like a Native American
Yeah,
predator
kind
movie.
of. But it's like actually scary again.
Yeah, but I'm worried there's going to be mysticism.
Well, let's hope not.
I try to steer clear of mysticism.
Yeah.
All right, anyway. I give it a 4. You give it a 3. We already did MVPs, LVPs. Great. Let's move on to the next one.
Yeah.
All right. The Cloverfield Paradox comes out in much quicker succession and immediately wipes the great taste we have in our mouth from the previous one. So, I mean, we all remember.
Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah, we all remember. What Super Bowl was that?
This was the Patriots Eagles when the Eagles won.
The Eagles won? The Eagles beat the Patriots?
Yeah, it's the real forgotten.
When did
Super
that
Bowl.
happen?
2018.
I have no memory of that.
Yeah, this is the forgotten one.
I mean, I was watching the Super Bowl. I was dating this girl who was...
This was like right after the Falcons. They beat the Falcons. Remember that one?
No.
That was the best one.
Which is the one with the bad pass in the end zone at the very end?
That's against the Seahawks.
And what year was that?
That's
Oh,
like
right. We were all giving Pete Carroll shit for that.
14 or something.
Oh,
like
that was like that long ago? Jesus.
Yeah, something like that.
God, life is weird. Anyway, I was watching this Super Bowl. I'm in a restaurant. I was dating a girl who worked in a restaurant, and they would do a thing where they'd have so few customers the day of the Super Bowl that they closed the restaurant for like their holiday party and watched the Super Bowl on a big projection screen. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where I was watching the Super Bowl that year.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, that was 2015. The Seahawks and the Patriots.
Okay. I'm sure I was rooting for the Eagles because I hate...
EAGLES, Eagles! That was you all night, right?
No.
Uh,
Who were their players that year?
they had Carson Wentz,
Yeah.
right? But then he got hurt. And then the other guy,
Other guy.
that other quarterback.
I don't know. They have Dallas Goedert.
Yeah. Are you talking about now or then?
Then.
Yeah. I don't really remember.
Anyway. So, Super Bowl. It was February 4th, 2018. And I remember the trailer. Boom! Don't even worry about it. There's a Cloverfield movie coming. When? Right fucking now, bitch. All right. They announced it's premiering the second the Super Bowl finishes. Everybody's got to watch it. Listen, I know listen. I understand that tonight on NBC they are going to reveal how Jack died on This Is Us. All right?
Wow. I
I understand they're going to reveal that. You've got to know about that whatever it was like a hot pocket he was making, and then the house burned down.
Yeah.
Whatever it was. Stupid episode. And but there's a new Cloverfield movie coming out. Surely you can wait a day to find out what happened to Jack Pearson, and instead learn what happened to these people in space during the Cloverfields.
Yeah. And did you do that?
I didn't. I watched. Well, actually, I didn't watch anything. I went home and probably boned that girl.
Hell
And
yeah.
then, hell yeah, bro. And then the next morning, I first watched this, and then I watched This Is Us. So I guess I did. I listened.
Wow.
Yeah. I was excited. They announced a new Cloverfield movie. So far, in my brain, these movies are 2 for 2. There's one I saw in theaters that I love. I gave it a 5. Then 10 Cloverfield Lane. I was fucking into it. Let's see a third.
Yeah. Me too. Very excited.
And I was excited beyond the Cloverfield aspect. Listen to this. All right. I'm a big J.J. Abrams guy.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
But I was even bigger, like around Lost. All right. So Lost was on like between 2004 and 2012 or whatever. And what ends up happening is JJ's picking up these movie projects, and he announces a movie called God Particle in 2012. And it's like this great script that JJ discovered, and he's going to make it into a movie. It's going to be a low budget, like cool sci-fi movie. It was getting compared a lot to like Event Horizon at the time, which is a great Paul W.S. Anderson film. And ultimately, like, the movie kind of like doesn't get made for a while. Like, it's on the schedule every year. Like, you look at the schedule and it's like J.J. Abrams' God Particle doesn't have a release date yet, but it's gonna come out at some point this year. But it never fucking did, dude.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it starts to get made, and you can just see it's so transparent what happened with this movie. This is a movie called God Particle that J.J. Abrams had a tough time with the script. Clearly, they had been working on it since 2012. They finally put the fucking thing into production. It went way the fuck over budget. I think this was greenlit at $15 million, and it ended up costing 50.
Holy cow.
Yeah. So
What'd you say the other one was? Like 15?
15, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And this is on Netflix. Well, I guess I didn't know that
because
at the
it wasn't supposed to be a Cloverfield movie. This is a totally different thing. It's a big blockbuster space movie called God Particle
Right.
that's supposed to like make the kind of money something like The Martian or Prometheus is
I remember God. I was excited for God Particle.
Yeah, you remember when that was announced?
Oh yeah, I was very excited for God
Cool,
Particle.
yeah. And so this is God Particle. This is what this movie is. And I just think J.J. Abrams took a look at the movie and was like, it's bad.
Yeah.
We can't release this. Like, we've got to do something to make people interested. Because if this just comes out as a random movie called God Particle, no one's going to see it. It has no IP. It has no stars.
Don't
like, no
load.
stars that are going to put butts in seats anyway. And it's a hugely expensive movie. What the fuck? So, like, Paramount, panicked, basically. J.J. Abrams went in, got Paramount to pay extra budget money to film extra scenes to make it a Cloverfield movie. This isn't like the other, like 10 Cloverfield Lane. They were like, wow, this sort of has a Cloverfield-y vibe. Maybe we'll make
Add
it
a
a
mailbox.
Cloverfield movie. No, this was a thing where it's like, this movie's gonna fail. The only thing that will save it is intellectual property, and we can call anything a Cloverfield movie and have it make sense.
Right. Can't make it Green Lantern, so I guess we have to go with Cloverfield.
Yeah, so they filmed a bunch of extra shit to make it a Cloverfield movie. So you have like a bunch of random characters early on in the movie just piping up with like, yeah, the Cloverfield Paradox. And it's like, what? You're
Right.
mentioning this in dialogue now?
Yeah.
And it's so stupid. And then they also added that final shot of the Cloverfield monster popping its head out of the clouds for like literally 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Like J.J. Abrams probably was like, let's make a whole sequence. And they were like, you can have $10. What can you do with that? And he's like, his head popping up out of clouds.
I do like the ending though.
I mean, you like the ending because you see something you recognize.
No, not even necessarily that. I like the whole panic of the ending. How like they're fine, they're going back, and they're happy they're going back. The husband is like, no, they didn't get to tell him they're coming back.
But
to,
it's
like,
shot
hell
so
on
bad.
Earth.
The shot of
Yeah.
the shots of the husband yelling with that kid are so clearly just like I gotta believe they only had space shit in God Particle. I think God Particle only took place in space because all the shit with the husband on Earth, and this is like a nothing actor who's like never done anything. He has like a few lines, and they're just like, okay. Let me stop for a second.
But then wouldn't that change her?
No,
Yeah.
here's my actual theory.
Mhm.
You know how there's a scene in the movie early on before she goes into space with the husband where they like establish that she has like some dead kids and that
I think we find that out a little later.
No, I know, but we establish that something's wrong and like there's something going on in their relationship.
Yeah, they're
and
like
that
in a traffic jam.
Yeah, and it would be better for them. He trusts her. Like she can save the world if she just goes to space and tries to help with the energy issue. I think that's all in the original movie God Particle, okay? And then when they decided they wanted to do that Cloverfield monster shit at the end, they were like, well, we got to keep cutting to Earth.
Right.
So they got that actor who they had hired for one scene. He must have been so fucking excited. And they were like, we're going to shoot a few additional scenes with you. They all look like they were shot on sound stages. The backdrops look fucking horrible. There's one scene where he's supposed to be like rescuing a girl in the midst of the Cloverfield invasion. And this is a $50 million movie.
Yeah.
And that looks like it was shot like a pickup shot, just like in 2 seconds after they shot something else.
Yeah, you're right. It looks like this movie was made in COVID times.
It does, but it wasn't. COVID was not even a fucking whisper in our brains when this movie was made.
Yeah. But if they don't add all that stuff, then doesn't that change her whole story, basically?
Why?
I mean, a lot of it is like her trying to calling him. Her whole thing is like now she wants to stay on Earth. Well, I guess they could do that without cutting back to Earth all the time.
Exactly. Like her whole thing is you realize halfway through the movie that she has 2 dead kids. She Manchester by the Sea her kids.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it's exactly, right? It is Manchester by the Sea.
Yeah.
And so she decides to go up into space, and then she realizes that there's like an alternate reality that they discover where she's still on Earth and she never went into space and she never Manchester by the Sea her kids. So they're still there. And she's like, maybe I can stay in this reality. I'm like, what's she going to do? Like murder her other self? I thought it was going to turn into fucking Coherence.
Exactly.
And so like that you don't ever need to cut back to Earth for that. That's just like a dilemma that's happening in her head on the spaceship.
No, I guess you're right. I think you are right about all this. It's like Furious 7 when they add like all those phone calls with Mia.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like the exact same thing.
And it's as transparent as that. It sucks. And so, like, ultimately what you're watching is like 2 movies in one. Like, you're watching a film that J.J. Abrams at one point thought was going to be good called God Particle. And then you're also watching a troubled production desperately trying to reverse engineer this pre-existing film into a Cloverfield movie. But like,
I don't think the other movie is that good either.
What?
The other half, the God Particle half.
No, but that's why he did it. Like 10 Cloverfield Lane, they didn't need to do anything with. They added that one shot of the fucking mailbox at the end just because it was like whatever. But like they just like took the movie and they were like, this is a good movie and it'll make even more money and get noticed if it's a Cloverfield movie.
But then why did they release it on Netflix?
Here's what happened. They went over budget $50 million, okay? And Netflix offered Paramount $60 million to buy the movie. And so they were already making a profit. This is a movie they thought was going to tank in theaters. And so Netflix is paying them for it. They're making a profit before it's even put up.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. So Netflix like rescued them from fucking financial oblivion, all the while damning themselves, because this was at a time where it was like, yeah, $60 million for a fucking Cloverfield movie. Clearly, like Netflix has deep pockets, like they're never gonna run out of money, and now they fucking have.
But come on, you think not buying this would have saved them in the long run?
No, of course not. But like not buying a million things like this would have.
But this was a big deal. I feel like the hype was real after that Super Bowl
The hype was real, but
until the next
it
morning.
was a bad movie, and I think ultimately you have to look at that. Like then people start watching this movie, and the buzz on Twitter was instantly, this new Cloverfield movie fucking sucks.
Well, that's why they did it like right after the Super Bowl, before any reactions.
Absolutely, yeah. But it didn't work. I read like the Netflix numbers, because they don't really release numbers, but they'll release things like, this is how many people watched it the night it was released, and this is how many people watched it the day after, and this is how many people watched it in its first week. They'll release shit like that. Okay, so if you look at that, it got less than half the viewership of that movie Bright with Will Smith.
Wow.
All right, so like they're putting their own money into Bright, and they're spending a bunch of random money to pick up this Cloverfield movie, and still people aren't really watching it. I think
I saw this, not that.
What?
I didn't see Bright.
No, neither did I. But I mean, clearly, like, I don't know. It needs to be good. You can't just put out bad movies and expect people to watch it.
Yeah, sometimes you can.
No, but like they'll catch up to you. If you release too many bad movies, people will stop going. That's what happens. That's what happened to Star Wars.
Did it? Did they stop going?
Yes. They released fucking Rise of Skywalker and like Last Jedi into Solo into Rise of Skywalker, and people were like, "Oh, I guess Star Wars is bad now."
Yeah. Well, I think that's just because they started making them bad.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But the people notice, and they'll go see the first couple, and eventually they'll be like, "Oh, I don't like these anymore. I'm gonna stop going." I really hope that happens to these Godzilla Kong movies. I don't know how those are still making money.
Well, I don't think they are. Oh no, they are. They for sure are. That was like the first movie after COVID.
Yeah, they just announced another one
where it was like Godzilla and Kong brought the theaters back. That was a big deal.
Yeah, I think that's the worst franchise going right now.
Oh, we'll cover it soon. Will we cover that with Godzilla or with King Kong?
I don't think we'll ever cover it because there's roughly 100 Godzilla movies.
What if I pick it next? Then we have to cover it.
Then I'm quitting.
I wouldn't do that.
I mean, the only Godzilla movie I ever really want to cover is the Roland Emmerich one. Let's be honest.
I know.
God damn, I wish that was its own franchise.
With Independence Day.
What if Godzilla was a sequel to Independence Day?
Oh, come on.
Oh my god, ID5. All right. Cloverfield. See, what they should really do. Here's what I think. Cloverfield Paradox has altered the Cloverfield franchise in that people are just not excited about these fucking movies anymore. Like this one was so bad that like I feel like when you hear the word Cloverfield, that's a negative now, where it used to be a positive. Like in the movie Nope, which I watched this weekend, they have like title cards denoting their different horses in the film. And one of the horses' name was Clover, but I didn't know that. And so at one point in the movie, a title comes up on the screen, Clover. And I was like, oh my God, is Nope a stealth Cloverfield movie? It blew my mind. And I was not excited about that because I was enjoying the movie. And then I was just like, oh no.
Nope.
Yeah, but nope, it wasn't that.
Yeah.
It's sort of like when I saw that trailer for Transformers 3 Dark of the Moon, and I thought it was going to be a really cool space movie, and then it turned out to be a Transformers movie.
What?
I'll never forget that letdown.
How did you think it was not a Transformers movie?
Because the trailer starts with like the moon landing happened in 1969 or something, and then they show like a spaceship, or it's like something's been on the moon since then, and it like burrows into the moon, and it's like, oh my God, this is gonna be like some cool alien movie about like an ancient alien that lives within the moon, but no, it was just a transformer.
Yeah, that's upsetting.
Yeah,
is that the worst one? No,
I didn't see it. I didn't see any of the ones past the second one.
None of them?
Yeah.
Not Marky Marks?
I haven't seen Marky Mark in a Transformer movie.
He's got two of them. I think he's in the one with
Yep.
Anthony Hopkins.
Age of Extinction and Dinosaur Dawn of the Dinos.
What?
What, isn't that what the fifth one is?
Say them again?
Dawn of the Dinosaurs.
No, say the other one again.
God of Extinction.
No, there's
Age of
Extinction.
Extinction.
And then I think it's The Last Duel or The
Oh,
Last
it is.
Night?
It is that. Why did I? But I think they have like dinosaur transformers in that movie.
Yeah, I think you're right, but it's not called Jurassic Park or whatever you said.
Why would they have dinosaur transformers? Aren't the transformers aliens?
Haven't there always been dinosaur transformers?
No.
Don't those things kill Optimus Prime?
Listen, the transformers are cars. They're robots in disguise. All right,
Right.
robots in disguise as cars. So they either look like a robot or a car. They never look like a dinosaur.
But aren't there dinosaurs
In the world?
in Transformers?
Listen, they existed on Earth, but
But don't they battle them at some point?
Transformers versus dinosaurs?
I always thought that they killed Optimus Prime, the dinosaurs.
What are you fucking talking about? Optimus Prime is alive. Optimus Prime
not in
outlives the
cartoons.
dinosaurs.
In the cartoon version, doesn't he die? I've seen like a scene where Optimus Prime dies.
At the hand of dinosaurs?
That's what I thought. I guess I'm
What the fuck is going on?
I don't know. I guess I'm wrong.
Somebody, please, if you know what Logan's talking about, let me know.
Yeah, please.
I wonder if this is some kind of Mandela effect kind of a thing. So the director, let's talk about the God particle. Cloverfield, what is it actually called?
Cloverfield Paradox.
Cloverfield Paradox, indeed. So the script for God Particle was written by this fellow Oren Uziel, and if you know anything about him, you'll know that he's a huge hack. He has written such classics as he worked on this Escape Room sequel. He wrote The Lost City with Sandy B and Channing Tates this year.
You loved that, though.
He's got a story credit on that recent Mortal Kombat film.
Yeah.
And he's attached to write Detective Pikachu 2.
Wow, they're making a second one of those.
Yeah, great Hollywood hack, Oren Uziel. All right, and it's
Ryan Reynolds coming back?
I'm sure. And it's directed by a fella named Julius Ona.
Oh, yeah.
Who's a Nigerian-American filmmaker. And he was plucked from obscurity. He had done only one film called The Girl Is in Trouble that I guess JJ liked. It didn't get particularly good reviews, actually, which surprised me. Because usually, like, when a fledgling director gets, like, a really big gig like that, it's coming off of, like, a really big indie, like a really success. Like, Chloe Zhao got Eternals off of The Rider, you know, or Destin Daniel Cretton got Shang-Chi off of Short Term 12, that sort of a thing.
Right.
Yeah. What was the one you said? Taika. Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Julius Ona has sort of resurrected his career to his credit since the failure of the Cloverfield Paradox. He followed it up the next year with a much smaller movie called Loose, with Naomi Watts and Octavia Spencer, which did get very good reviews. And now it has been announced that he's directing the next Captain America film, Captain America New World Order, NWO, starring, of course, Hollywood Hogan, Six, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and Conan. They'll be starring in the NWO film.
Yeah, so that's exciting.
Yeah. I was trying to think of the things.
Did you see Loose?
No, I didn't. Have you?
No.
Maybe I should. But hey, listen, he's back, bro. This guy's back. He got a franchise opportunity. He fucking tanked it. He went way over budget. The movie sucked. They had to turn it into a different movie. And
now he's making Captain
and
America.
Now Marvel's like, well, you can't really fuck up a Marvel movie, right? Like there's a formula here. There's a formula you can do, all right? And Julius Ono, he's a Nigerian American director. He's got Anthony Mackie, the Black Captain America, in the lead role of this one. Come on, Marvel knows what it's doing.
What do you want me to say to that?
Just agree. All right. Anyway, I mean that's the pedigree of the filmmakers.
Yeah. Very interesting process.
Yeah. So the film takes place in space.
Yeah.
It
Better or
takes-
worse than Gravity?
Worse.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
That only has 2 people, though. This one has lots.
yeah, but I like both those people better than all the people in this one.
Are you serious? Come on. John Ortiz?
Yeah, look, I actually like a lot of the actors in this movie. Like, on paper, a space movie with this cast really appeals to me.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah. It's just not good. So the movie takes place in the year 2028. It's established. It's the near future.
I didn't even pick up on that.
Yeah. And I guess 10 years after like the present day of 2018 when this came out. And there's an energy crisis, very long lines at the gas stations at the beginning of the movie.
Yep.
She's not even in a traffic jam at the beginning of the movie. She's online for gas.
No, I think... Really?
Yeah,
I think at
believe
one
so.
point... Oh, maybe you're right.
Yeah. Because the gas station says Kelvin.
Oh,
I remember
I remember
that.
one point Mary Elizabeth Winstead's at a gas station.
Yeah, a lot of gas in these movies.
Yeah.
And he farts. Like TJ Miller must fart in the first movie.
I don't think so.
All right. Let's talk about the cast. So the lead of the film, who's in like almost every scene, is Guju Mbatha Raw. And she's someone that JJ actually discovered. I mean, not discovered, but she starred in his 5th show after Fringe, this thing called Undercovers that got canceled after like 8 episodes or something. So Guju Mbatha Raw was on like JJ Abrams' first failure. And now he's given her a lead role in this film, his next failure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Full circle moment.
Yeah. And she's a good actor, and she's just never is in good stuff. I saw her. She's on the morning show.
The Reese Witherspoon thing?
Yeah. And in the first season, she actually has like a suicide.
Wow.
Like her character gets Me Too'd by Steve Carell's character. And like
How many women have gotten Me Too'd?
On the morning show or in real life?
In real life?
Infinite. All of them.
Really?
I think more women have been Me Too'd than not Me Too'd.
What does that mean?
Like, I think almost every woman in the world has had something happen to them from a man that's fucked up.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Oh, what are you saying?
How many of them have been canceled?
How many women?
Yeah.
That one who was sex trafficking for Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, right.
Amber Heard, kind of.
But didn't they both kind of get canceled?
Yeah.
equally?
It was a mutual cancellation there. And, I mean, that's about it, right? Anybody else?
I can't think of any.
No.
That's interesting. Cancel more women, no.
I mean, yeah. But, I mean, Roseanne got canceled.
That's...
Yeah.
There's got to be more people like that have said stupid shit.
Yeah, that's a good point. Gina Carano.
Gina Carano.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
She got canceled hard.
Vanessa Hudgens, almost, kind of.
She'll be
remember?
back. She'll be back.
She doesn't even really count.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Continue.
Okay. I will continue. So Guju, she's our lead. We follow her up. Let's meet the rest of the team. All right. The captain, David Oyelowo. Now, he was a fella with a whole lot of buzz.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone thought David Oyelowo was going to be a big fucking deal, a BFD, because he played Martin Luther King Jr. in Ava DuVernay's Selma.
Right.
And it was almost like an Idris Elba thing, where like after The Wire, it was like, oh, Idris Elba, he's going to be like Bond. Let's make it happen. Now here we have another handsome young black actor with leading man qualities, also just not succeeding. What's happening?
I don't know. I only really knew him from Selma,
Is
but I
there
never saw Selma.
is there something? Is there a problem? I think Hollywood has a hard time turning black men into movie stars sometimes.
Well, who's next? John David Washington. Maybe they can get that one going.
I mean, they're trying to, clearly, right? Like, he was the lead in Tenet, but where's he been?
Well, Tenet came out like last year, 2 years ago. It just came out, and COVID's been happening.
Where's he been? Where's the
whole-
guy been?
I don't know.
You know, like Michael B. That seemed to pan out,
Oh, yeah.
right? Michael B. panned out. Chadwick panned out, but oh well.
But what about Lakeith and Kaluuya?
Are they? They're not movie stars. I
Not
love
yet.
Lakeith and Kaluuya, but those guys aren't putting asses in seats.
Not yet.
They're getting
will.
nice roles because they both have great collaborations with talented filmmakers and stuff. And Lakeith is a talented filmmaker in his own right.
What happened to Donald Glover? I know he's making Atlanta, but wasn't he in movies for a second?
Donald Glover can basically do whatever he wants, I think, and he seems to be more interested in music than doing movies.
Does he still make music? I
Yeah,
didn't know about
Childish
that.
Gambino still puts shit out.
Okay. All right.
He hasn't had anything as big as Redbone in a while.
Well, This Is America. Wasn't that after Redbone?
Oh yeah,
That was huge.
was
That's probably
a-
the song of the decade. If you had to
Of
have a
the
song to like
decade?
represent the decade, it'd probably be that.
no, call me maybe.
All right.
By the way, I went on the Twitter this week by accident.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I wanted to read somebody's tweet, and I was logged in, and it was the
Uh-huh.
franchise Twitter,
hmm
and somebody gave me. I looked at our mentions. Somebody like a while back mentioned that I said Taylor Swift wasn't an artist, and she said that was a really bad take.
It was.
Yeah. I guess like I really feel that more about like the Beyoncés of the world. At least like T Swift is out there like writing stuff down.
Yeah, writing from the soul. That's all she
And
does.
the thing is like but I like Taylor Swift. Like I wasn't trying to like denigrate her good name by calling her a non-artist. I think she's really talented and I like a lot of her songs. I just don't think that they're artistically relevant. Does that make sense?
Who's
Is that
the best?
still a bad take?
I mean, who's the best musical artist out there?
I don't know. Radiohead.
What?
Yeah.
I can't even name anybody. I don't know. Lizzo?
No, you're just thinking of the radio. Get off the radio.
I'm thinking about right now. Like, who's out there right now? Like, can't think of anybody really.
There's great bands out there.
All right.
I don't feel like endorsing anybody right now.
Okay.
I saw a band earlier this year, Sloth Rust. Incredible.
All right. I'll have to listen to him later. Sloth
Yeah.
Rust.
Sloth Rust. Anyway. They're touring Europe right now. Fucking. Oh, back to the cast. Let's talk about more. That was a yellow O. Then we've got Daniel Bruhl, and he's a German, and he's a traitor in one universe, but not in another universe.
Right.
And we meet the nice one. Who wants to see that? Give me the traitor.
Well, we've already got a bad guy.
It seems to me that the other universe is where the interesting shit is happening. And
Oh,
this
come on.
universe is a bunch of fucking bores, and this one awesome lady, Elizabeth Debicki, fucking shit up.
But that's the problem. Is like she comes into this universe being wronged in the other universe, so now she's the one doing the wronging.
Good. I side with her.
It's kind of cool. It's like turning it on its head.
She's the MVP of the movie by far.
All right, we'll get there.
Second place, Chris O'Dowd. Here he is. Comic relief. Love Chris O'Dowd. Big fan. And I thought he was all right in this.
Yeah, he's fine. Everyone's fine. I thought. Even the Becky, everyone's fine.
John Ortiz is hanging around. He's bald. I didn't care for that
Oh yeah,
because I think John Ortiz is something of a silver fox in real life.
yeah.
And I think balding aged him a little bit. He looked like Sanjay Dutt.
I thought he was like a replicant.
Really? Why? Because he's bald?
No, not
Did you
him.
think he was gonna like open up his scalp and like have a machine inside or something?
No, not him. The other guy, Volkov. I thought he was a replicant. He kept touching his face, and I was like, "What's going on with this guy?"
Well, it's because his eye was moving.
Yeah, but why? I thought he was like gonna be something.
No, I think that was part of the universe stuff. His eye was I think his
What?
eye was from the other universe.
What? How?
Because one of his eyes was moving around of its own volition. It's the creepiest scene in the movie. When his like eyes like looking to the right and he's like trying to get it to look straight on and he can't. Your eyes turning against you would be a scary thing.
Yeah, absolutely. But that means that his eyes from the other multiverse.
So I believe that one of his eyes was replaced by the multiverse, and other Volkov is looking around with that eye.
Oh my goodness. I didn't even put that together.
I'm not sure I'm right about it. I'm
No,
not
you're
sure.
right.
I'm not sure how much of the movie actually makes sense if you sit down and think about it, because so much of it is just like the one universe encroaching on ours, and so you end up with shit like someone's in the wall and they've got wires. Someone materialized with like wires through their arm, or like weird, or someone's eye is moving around. There's all this weird shit like that. And the movie is largely just like a series of random creepy occurrences.
The
without
arm, right?
The arm was another little like sub thing.
Yeah.
We're going to
Where
go
did that
off and
lead?
deal with this severed arm for a minute.
Didn't the arm, it wrote something on a piece of paper at one point, but I forgot what it did.
I like that. I like when he has to hand his own arm a pen.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, it was sort of like Thing from the Addams Family. That was fun. And so it's just like a series of like random weird shit happening, and then at the end of the movie, like they get back to Earth. Like there's not a lot of forward momentum in this movie.
Well, the whole thing really is she wants to be back with her kids.
Yeah, but
So she wants to like take one of those pods.
I know, but I never was convinced she was actually going to.
I was. Oh, but I have a question actually. Did Yellow take one of the pods, or did he die?
I have no idea. He just seemed to disappear at one point in the movie.
Yeah, and I because it seemed like maybe he turned on her and took the pod that she had wanted, and that was like his exit from the movie. Or I didn't really know if he died or not. I don't know.
And then you also have like Ziyi Zhang running around this movie from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and she's got like nothing to do.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, she has nothing to do. She like freezes at one point.
Freezes?
She's like in water, but then the water freezes.
Oh, you know what I liked about 10 Cloverfield Lane? How they
What?
set up that thing where, like,
The lock.
my dad showed me a trick. Like, you freeze this thing and it helps it to open. Oh, and then it comes into play at the end of the movie.
I didn't like it.
Fuck you! What a tight screenplay that is. Anyway, what else you got about Paradox?
That would be good. I don't know. We get a multiverse bomb from Brule, and he's in the MCU. I thought that was an interesting call.
Oh yeah, he's like Baron Zemo, isn't he?
Yeah,
I always think of him as just the other dude from Rush.
that's on my list, but I know he's the other dude from Rush.
Yeah, it's Hemsworth and the other dude, and he's the other dude.
Right. But yeah, he is Zemo from Captain America Civil War. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so but let me get to my main point about this film.
Yeah.
This film takes place in the near future, where there's an energy crisis on Earth in 2028, okay?
Yeah.
That is well established. At the end of the film, they come down to Earth during the invasion from the first movie, the Cloverfield invasion. They see the monster, okay? How is that possible? Because that is establishing that the original Cloverfield, which came out in 2008, takes place in the near future of 2028 during an energy crisis, which just doesn't make sense. There's no sign of a fucking energy crisis in that movie. That is just a full-on New York City. There's electronics stores being ripped into. The
We see the
times.
Brooklyn Bridge.
Yeah, all the lights are on. Everything is good. Everyone's got supplies of water. Nobody's worried. It takes place in a totally normal world.
They're jamming out to that playlist.
Let me get to that now. Back to Rob's party mix. I brought it up last week. A classic mix. All right.
Oh, the dates. That's hilarious.
Think about it. Who's on that mix? Who did I say?
Sean Kingston.
Beautiful Girls by Sean Kingston. That's the smoking gun right there. If that movie, the original Cloverfield, is supposed to take place in the near future, the dystopian future of 2028, then why would they be listening to Beautiful Girls by Sean Kingston on that mix? Why would that mix only have popular indie acts from the summer of 2008? That is a mix that is trapped in time, my friend. And
Okay.
there is just no way you can convince me that film was in any way fucking futuristic.
No. What if all the movies are in their own multiverse? So Cloverfield is like its own thing. That's multiverse A. And then 10 Cloverfield Lane is multiverse B.
Well, that's what I believed. But I believe that it is implied I think there's only supposed to be two universes, and that at the end of this movie, we're going back to that first one.
No, let's say in this movie we start in multiverse C, and the other multiverse is multiverse D. So we think we think we're going to multiverse A, which is the start of the first movie, but really this whole movie is just multiverse C.
But wouldn't it be the same year in all of them?
No.
I don't believe that these multiverses are operating on different timetables. It would be the exact same time. I would think like if Spoon is popular in one universe, they're popular in the other one.
No, I don't think so. Who knows? You know multiverse rules? No.
If all you're telling me is this is a multiverse, why would they show me the monster at the end of the movie?
I don't know.
Like, how is that going to get people excited? It's exciting because it's like, oh, they are ending up in the first movie.
What if it's its son?
What?
What if it's the monster's son? This is 10 years later. He's
so like
they've
already experienced the Cloverfield monster, and now they're like, another one?
Like in the first movie, that monster had a 7-year-old. Mm-hmm. And now he's 17.
It's like one of those eggs in the Madison Square Garden at the end of Roland Emmerich's Godzilla.
It's exactly like that. But it was already born, and he was doing this for his kid, and then now the kid is 17, and now it's his time to get out there.
Listen, we are wrapping ourselves up in bows to try to accommodate this movie's terrible decision-making, okay? I am telling you, this is a film that takes place in 2028 that ends up in the first Cloverfield movie, and they just don't want you to think about that.
Yeah, why didn't they just make it not 2028?
Because the whole energy crisis thing was built into the God Particle script. The thing is, God Particle's a future movie, and the other Cloverfield movies haven't been. So that's not a movie you can reverse engineer into a Cloverfield movie. It doesn't work. But they did anyway, because it's a piece of IP that they have access to, and it's a movie that was going to fail.
But why can't you have an energy crisis now? And people can just go into the movie knowing, hey, this is a movie where there's an energy crisis on Earth, and they can just get over the fact that it's not real.
Yeah.
Isn't that what movies are?
Yeah, it is. That's fair. That's all fair.
2 stars.
I agree. You know, I was. It's definitely not a 1. I actually enjoyed it more this time than like without the weight of expectations. And some of the special effects shots are appreciably gross, and it's like a very much a poor man's Event Horizon and a poor man's Coherence, but I don't think it's the disaster I once did. But it pretty much sucks, and it's a 2.
Yeah. And all the points you raised about the husband and all that being extra, you're 100% right. All that really does feel like a completely different movie.
Yes.
So, yeah, 2 stars. My MVP, I'll go Elizabeth Debicki also.
Yep. Hey, shout out. We heard some radio voices. I didn't recognize any of them while I was watching the movie, but they're all like JJ people, so I have to mention it.
Mhm.
Ken Olin, an actor who also directed the pilot episode of Alias, is one of the radio voices in this movie. Simon Pegg.
Wow.
Apparently, we heard him. I didn't recognize him.
No.
And Greg Grunberg, the great Greg Grunberg, who shows up in all of JJ's shit.
Yeah. Didn't
Hasn't
recognize
made a Cloverfield appearance yet, and here he is.
that. Well, you can check it off the bucket list.
That's right, baby. He showed up in those Star Trek and Star Wars movies. Now he's in Cloverfield.
Is Simon Pegg in Star Trek?
In Trek, yeah.
Oh, so he's in all of them also.
He plays Scotty, dude. You know how sometimes people are like,
Beam
beam
me
me
up."
up, Scotty?
Yeah,
That's
of
to
course.
him.
Wow, I had no idea he was the titular Scotty.
Well, it's not like Star Trek starring Scotty.
But in
It's-
that line, he is
No,
the titular.
he is the
from
titular
line.
Scotty in that line, sure.
My LVP is that little kid that the husband's hanging
Oh,
out
good call. Fuck her.
with. Yeah.
But you know, I'm gonna give it to the husband.
Oh no, I thought it was kind of okay.
I did like his British accent. You know, Guju Mbatha Raw has a very good posh British accent. I like listening to her talk.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
It's interesting you say Guju because I would have said Goo Goo. But I guess
Yeah.
you know more than I do.
I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that
It's like
correctly.
Gugino.
I think when that show Undercovers came out, I taught myself how to say it.
Wow, look at you.
Yeah.
Mbathara. That's kind of cool.
Mbatha Raw, yeah. I mean, if I'm wrong, let me know. I don't
No,
know.
that sounds right.
Yeah. But all right, so that's Cloverfield. I rank them 1, 2, 3. But
too.
make some more Cloverfield movies. I'm into it.
Yeah, me too. I was excited when Quiet Place was gonna be
yeah.
Cloverfield. I was into that.
That's the third multiverse. Everyone's got to be quiet.
Yeah.